Niccolo Machiavelli warned that some environments aren't built to help you grow. They are built to control you. They are prisons without bars, designed to silently crush your true self. He saw the blueprints for them centuries ago, and today, you're likely living in at least one. We're about to uncover the 7 modern places that are destroying your authenticity, and how you can escape them using Machiavelli's ruthless wisdom. They told you to be yourself, as if the world actually rewards raw honesty. But think about it, how many people who spoke their truth too freely were ever celebrated for it? The reality is, the world doesn't fear authenticity, it fears unfiltered power. Most people wear masks not because they're deceptive, but because experience taught them that showing their full, unvarnished self can be a fatal mistake in the games of power. But there comes a point when the performance becomes a prison. The mask you wear starts to feel more like a cage, and the silence you keep for the sake of peace begins to choke you more than any judgment ever could. This is when you have to make a choice. Will you keep being a character in someone else's play? Or will you finally seize the pen and write your own script? Machiavelli, the master strategist, wasn't a monster. He was a realist. He understood that to survive, let alone thrive, you can't be naively good in a world filled with people who aren't. He doesn't teach you to abandon your true self, but to wield it with intelligence. To understand that authenticity isn't about blurting out every thought and feeling. It's about choosing what the world deserves to see and when. This isn't manipulation, it's strategic sovereignty. Today, we'll walk through the 7 modern arenas that operate on the principles Machiavelli identified. These aren't physical locations, but psychological and social environments expertly designed to weaken your will, dilute your identity, and make you compliant. For each one, we'll diagnose the poison and then reveal Machiavelli's antidote. The cold, hard, timeless strategy for reclaiming your power. Prepare yourself. This isn't self-help that feels good. This is self-preservation that works. -1. The gilded cage of corporate power ***. First, we step into the most respectable of prisons, the gilded cage of corporate power. This is the world of office politics, hierarchical ladders, and titles that men honor more than the men who hold them. It's the place that promises security, status, and wealth, but often demands your soul as payment. In this arena, your authentic self is a liability. Your raw ideas, too disruptive. Your honest feedback, that's insubordination. Your desire for meaningful work, just youthful idealism. You quickly learn the path to advancement isn't paved with competence alone, but with conformity. You're taught to speak in corporate jargon, nod along in pointless meetings, and celebrate wins that feel completely hollow. Machiavelli saw this clearly in the courts of princes and nobles. He observed that to survive where power is concentrated at the top, people have to become masters of appearance. He wrote that a man who wants to act virtuously in every way must come to ruin among so many who are not good. The corporate world is a direct descendant of that court. It's a place where perceived loyalty is valued over actual competence, and where those who excel at managing perceptions, not delivering results, are the ones who rise. You're told to put the company's interests first, but you soon realize it's the private interests of those in power that really steer the ship. This constant conflict erodes your integrity. You compromise little by little, until one day you look in the mirror and don't recognize the person staring back. So, what's the Machiavellian escape? It's not quitting in a fit of righteous anger. That's a move of passion, not power. The real strategy is to understand the game and play it on your own terms. Machiavelli advised that a leader must know how to use both the nature of the man and the nature of the beast. In this world, that means you must learn to be a great pretender and dissembler. This doesn't mean becoming a soulless corporate drone. It means creating a strategic wall between your public persona and your private self. Present the face the organization wants to see, agreeable, diligent, and aligned with its goals. Go through the motions, but internally, you must remain a detached observer. Your true self, your real ambitions, your core values, those are for you and your trusted inner circle, and no one else. While playing this part, be ruthlessly effective. Let your results speak so loudly that your occasional nonconformity is tolerated. Build your own power base, not through gossip, but through competence, strategic alliances, and by making yourself indispensable. Use the corporation's resources to build your skills, your network, and your reputation. See the job not as a life sentence, but as a tour of duty. Your mission is to extract more value than you give away. When the cage no longer serves you, you won't have to break out. You'll have already built your own key, and you can simply walk away, stronger and more formidable than when you entered. -2. The marketplace of constant comparison, ***. Now we move to a place that's everywhere and nowhere. An invisible arena that consumes every spare moment. The marketplace of constant comparison. This is the world of social media, the endless scroll of curated lives, manufactured successes, and staged authenticity. In this marketplace, your self-worth is a commodity, traded on the stock exchange of likes and shares. You are both the product and the consumer, constantly packaging your life for public approval while consuming the edited highlights of others. This environment is engineered to make you feel inadequate. Every post, every story is a silent judgment on your own life. Their perfect vacation highlights your mundane routine. Their career milestone underscores your own stagnation. Their flawless family photo amplifies the messy reality of your own relationships. Machiavelli understood that people judge more by what they see than by what they know. Everyone sees what you appear to be, but few know what you really are. Social media is the ultimate theater of appearances. It's a space where people willingly deceive themselves because the illusion is more comforting than reality. The algorithm, the silent ruler of this domain, doesn't reward truth. It rewards engagement. It promotes outrage, envy, and spectacle, creating a feedback loop that corrodes real connection and replaces it with performative interaction. Your true self, with its doubts, struggles, and unglamorous moments, has no place here. It's edited out, filtered away, and replaced by a persona built to win the approval of strangers. You're forced to become a manipulator of your own image just to survive. The Machiavellian antidote isn't to delete all your accounts in a desperate bid for digital purity. That's an emotional reaction that cedes the territory entirely. The strategic move is to become a conscious user of the tool, not an unconscious victim of it. First, adopt a posture of profound cynicism. Understand that you're looking at a stage, not a documentary. Every profile is a work of propaganda, an advertisement for a life that doesn't really exist in the way it's presented. When you see content through this lens, the emotional sting of comparison vanishes. You're no longer comparing your reality to theirs. You're just analyzing their marketing strategy. Second, redefine why you're even there. Are you on these platforms for validation or for information and leverage? The powerful use social media as Machiavelli would, as a tool for intelligence gathering and influence. They observe trends, understand public sentiment, and project an image that serves their long-term goals. They post with intention, not desperation. They share what is useful, not what is vulnerable. This is strategic authenticity. You don't have to lie, but you don't have to confess. Your authentic self is a private treasure, not a public commodity. In the marketplace, you only present the parts of yourself that align with your objectives. You use the platform, you don't let it use you. Turn off notifications, curate your feed ruthlessly, follow people who provide knowledge, not just envy. And most importantly, measure your life by your own metrics, not by the hollow applause of the digital crowd. As Machiavelli knew, the world is full of the unsophisticated, and a wise person is not swayed by their fleeting opinions. Your sovereignty begins the moment you stop asking for their vote. -3. The echo chamber of agreement ***, the third dangerous place, is one of the most comfortable, which makes it one of the most treacherous. It's the echo chamber of agreement, the fortress you build around yourself, brick by brick, with people who think like you, talk like you, and never ever challenge you. This is your circle of yes men, the friends who always agree, the colleagues who only flatter. This place feels safe. It feels validating. It shields you from dissent and the discomfort of criticism. In the echo chamber, your ideas are always brilliant. Your decisions are always wise. Your flaws are either invisible or charming. But this comfort is a slow-acting poison. It stagnates your true self. Your growth halts. Your perspective narrows. You become intellectually fragile, unable to handle the slightest challenge to your beliefs. Your ego becomes inflated, built not on real achievement, but on recycled praise. Machiavelli saved one of his sternest warnings for this exact danger, dedicating a chapter of ***, the Prince ***, to the plague of flatterers. He states bluntly, there is no other way of guarding oneself from flatterers, except by letting men understand that you will not be offended if they tell you the truth. But he immediately adds a crucial warning. If you let everyone tell you the truth, you'll lose their respect and be seen as contemptible. This is the razor's edge a leader must walk. Being shielded from reality makes you a fool, easily deceived and led to ruin. Yet, being open to every opinion makes you weak and indecisive. A prince who isn't wise himself can't be well advised. The Machiavellian strategy for dismantling the echo chamber is a masterclass in controlled communication. It's a deliberate, three-step process. First, you must actively choose wise counselors. Machiavelli insists a leader should pick a few intelligent, honest individuals and give only to them the freedom to speak the truth. These aren't your buddies or your cheerleaders. They are people who have proven their competence and, more importantly, have proven they are more loyal to your success than to your feelings. You need to find the person who will tell you there's spinach in your teeth, even when it's embarrassing. Second, you control the flow of feedback. Notice Machiavelli's precise words. Allow them to speak the truth only on matters you ask about and nothing else. You should be a constant questioner, but you set the agenda. This stops them from pushing their own interests and keeps the advice focused on your needs. It establishes a clear hierarchy. Their role is to advise, and your role is to decide. Third, you must show through your actions that you reward honesty, even when it's painful. When an advisor gives you difficult advice, listen patiently and thank them for their candor. And if you ever find out someone held the truth from you out of fear, you must let your anger be felt. This creates a culture where telling the truth is rewarded and flattery is punished. By using this strategy, you replace the comfortable echo chamber with a war room of trusted advisors. You're no longer seeking validation, you're seeking intelligence. Your true self isn't coddled, but forged in the fire of honest critique. You become stronger, sharper, and more grounded in reality, the only ground from which true power can grow. -4. The swamp of toxic connections ***. Our fourth dangerous place is the swamp of toxic connections. This is the realm of the manipulator, the envious friend, the emotional vampire, and the moral zealot who uses justice as a weapon. These are the relationships that don't build you up, but slowly drain your energy, undermine your autonomy, and pull you down into the muck. The manipulator makes you doubt your own perceptions, a tactic now known as gaslighting. They create a world where their needs are always urgent, and your boundaries are always up for negotiation. The envious friend celebrates your failures with a secret smile and downplays your successes with faint praise. They want you to do well, just never better than them. The emotional vampire feeds on your sympathy, creating constant crises that only you can solve. Their life is a perpetual drama, and you're cast as the savior, while your own needs are always put on hold. The moral zealot judges your every move against an impossible standard, making you feel perpetually flawed and in need of their guidance. In this swamp, your true self is suffocated. You become reactive instead of proactive, constantly managing the emotions and demands of others. Your confidence erodes, your goals get pushed aside. You start to believe their version of you, that you're too sensitive, not good enough, or selfish for wanting your own life. Machiavelli was a keen observer of human nature and warned that a leader must understand the darker motives that drive people, who are often fickle, deceptive, and self-serving. These toxic connections are the embodiment of that warning. They aren't your allies. They are competitors for your most valuable resource, your life force. The Machiavellian solution isn't to try and fix these people or to seek closure. Those are modern therapeutic ideas that have no place in the world of power. To a strategist, a toxic asset isn't repaired, it's liquidated. The Machiavellian exit is swift, silent, and absolute. First, make a cold, rational assessment. A Machiavellian realist isn't paranoid, but they analyze people based on actions, not words. Does this person consistently add value to your life, or do they drain it? Do they support your rise, or are they an anchor? If the ledger is in the red, a decision must be made. Second, execute the silent severance. No dramatic confrontation, no long-winded explanation. Announcing your departure gives them an opening to manipulate you, to promise they'll change, and to pull you back into the drama. Instead, you just become unavailable. Your calls are answered less. Your replies get shorter. Your schedule is suddenly full. You create distance not with anger, but with an impenetrable wall of indifference. This is the political strategy of starving a problem of oxygen until it disappears. For truly entangled relationships, Machiavelli's advice on cruelty may be more fitting. Not physical cruelty, but the perceived cruelty of a clean break. He argued that a single decisive act, though it seems harsh, is often kinder than the prolonged agony of false hope. A direct, final, non-negotiable end to the relationship, followed by a strict no-contact policy, is like surgically removing a tumor. It will be painful, yes, but it's necessary for your survival. Your true self can't blossom in a swamp. It needs firm ground and clean air. Reclaim them without apology. -5. The arena of public opinion, ***, the fifth dangerous place, is the open-air prison of the arena of public opinion. This isn't about your close friends, but the wider social world, the community, the industry, the faceless crowd ready to pass judgment on your life. In this arena, every action is scrutinized and every vulnerability is a weapon they can use against you. Your reputation is a fragile thing that can be destroyed overnight. Here, the pressure is to be likable, agreeable, and good. You're encouraged to show your vulnerabilities to seem relatable, but Machiavelli would see this for the trap it is. In the public square, showing raw emotion or true vulnerability isn't a sign of strength. It's a strategic error. It hands your enemies the ammunition to strike you. Your honesty will be twisted into naivete. Your forgiveness will be seen as weakness. Your principled stand will be painted as arrogance. As Machiavelli noted, you have to be prepared for the reality that you're surrounded by people who are not virtuous, and acting as if they are will lead to your ruin. The public doesn't reward genuine virtue. It rewards the appearance of virtue. The crowd, as he said, is taken by appearances and by the outcome of an event, and the world is made up of the crowd. They don't know your heart or your intentions. They only know what they see, and their judgment is fickle. To expose your true, complex, and sometimes contradictory self in this arena is to invite condemnation. You're forced into a box, flattened into a caricature, the good guy, the rebel, the victim, and any move outside that assigned role is met with hostility. The Machiavellian strategy for this arena is masterful impression management. It's about seizing control of your own narrative. The key is to be, as Machiavelli advised, a great pretender and dissembler. This doesn't mean living a lie. It means understanding the difference between your private self and your public role. Your full, authentic self, with all its doubts, fears, and unconventional thoughts, is a treasure reserved for your inner circle of wise counselors. In the arena of public opinion, you present a carefully crafted persona, one that projects the 5 qualities Machiavelli said a leader must seem to have: mercy, faith, integrity, humanity, and piety. You must appear to be the embodiment of virtue, even, and especially, when necessity requires you to act differently behind the scenes. Think of it as a uniform. When a soldier puts on their uniform, they're adopting a role. They don't stop being themselves, but they project specific qualities required for their duty. Your public persona is your uniform. It should be designed to command respect, inspire confidence, and deflect unnecessary attacks. Be polite but distant. Be warm but not familiar. Share opinions that are well considered and broadly acceptable. Keep your controversial thoughts for private debate. The goal is to become unreadable. Mystery is a form of power. If people can't easily categorize you, they can't easily control or attack you. They see what you appear to be, but few know what you really are. And this gap is your strategic advantage. You control the information they get. You let your actions and results build your reputation while your inner world remains a well-guarded fortress. In the arena of public opinion, the person who reveals everything loses. The one who masters their own image wins. -6. The Museum of Old Ideas, ***, the 6th dangerous environment is the Museum of Old Ideas. This is any group, institution, or family that is fundamentally resistant to change. It's the company that insists this is how we've always done it. It's the social circle that punishes new ways of thinking. It's the ideology that demands absolute adherence to old dogma. In the museum, innovation is heresy, and conformity is the highest virtue. These environments run on a powerful, unseen force, the vested interest of the status quo. Machiavelli wrote that the innovator has enemies in all those who have done well under the old conditions, and lukewarm defenders in those who may do well under the new. Resistance to change is fierce because those who benefit from the current order will fight to protect it, while those who might benefit from a new one are hesitant and afraid. This is why introducing anything new is so dangerous. In the Museum of Old Ideas, your true self, your creativity, your ambition, your desire to evolve is seen as a threat. To survive, you're forced to suppress your insights. You learn to keep your mouth shut when you see a better way. You nod along to outdated practices. The environment demands you choose survival over authenticity. This is a slow death for the soul. The vibrant, evolving part of you begins to atrophy. You become a living exhibit in the museum, a relic of what you could have been, your potential gathering dust. The corruption here isn't greed, it's stagnation. So what's the Machiavellian path through the museum? It's one of strategic subversion and, ultimately, a timely escape. First, recognize the institution for what it is. Don't try to be a heroic reformer, charging against the walls of tradition. You'll be crushed, and they'll make an example of you. Machiavelli was a realist. He knew you can't change a corrupt system from within unless you have overwhelming power. Instead, you must operate like a spy. Outwardly, you conform. You learn the rituals, speak the language, and pay respect to the old ways. You don't signal your dissent. You become a model citizen of the old order. But inwardly, you are an agent of your own future. While you perform your duties, you are acquiring resources. You're learning the system's weaknesses. You're identifying the other lukewarm defenders of the new way, the quiet dissenters who might one day be your allies. You're building your skills, saving your money, and plotting your escape. Don't waste your energy on unwinnable battles. Every ounce of your effort is directed toward preparing for your own revolution, which will happen outside their walls. The Machiavellian innovator knows some systems aren't meant to be saved. They are meant to be superseded. Your role isn't to renovate the museum. It's to build a modern laboratory next door, using the knowledge you gained from studying the artifacts inside. When the time is right, you don't announce your resignation in a blaze of glory. You just disappear and re-emerge in your new form, with your new project, your new venture, your new life. The museum will barely notice you're gone, but the world will notice what you build. Let them keep their relics. Your job is to create the future. -7. The court of moral zealotry ***, the final and perhaps most insidious place is the court of moral zealotry. This environment is filled with people who wield morality not as a personal guide, but as a weapon for public control. These are the ideologues, the purists, and the self-appointed guardians of righteousness who demand absolute conformity to their rigid, unforgiving code. In this court, nuance is a crime and forgiveness is a sign of weakness. Every action, every word, every past mistake is placed on a scale and judged with merciless severity. There's no room for human error, no space for complexity, and no tolerance for dissent. The zealot's power comes from occupying the high ground of moral superiority. From this perch, they can condemn, cancel, and excommunicate anyone who deviates from their narrow, ever-shifting definition of good. This place is profoundly destructive to the true self because it forces you into a state of perpetual fear and self-censorship. You become terrified of saying the wrong thing, of having a past mistake unearthed, or of simply holding a belief that falls outside the accepted orthodoxy. Authenticity becomes impossible because authentic people are messy, flawed, and inconsistent. The court of moral zealotry demands saints, and when it can't find them, it creates sinners. As Machiavelli understood, anyone who tries to be perfectly good at all times is destined for ruin because it's an impossible standard for human beings. Machiavelli's wisdom offers a powerful defense against this kind of tyranny. He separated politics from conventional morality, not because he was immoral, but because he saw that morality could be weaponized. He argued that a leader must be prepared not to be good, and to use this or not according to necessity. The key is to refuse to play their game. First, reclaim your own moral authority. You must decide for yourself what your principles are, based on your own reason and experience. Don't outsource your conscience to a mob or an ideologue. Your moral compass is your own. When you're secure in your own values, the judgments of the zealots lose their sting. Their condemnation is no longer a verdict on your soul. It's just an opinion from a source you don't respect. Second, employ strategic silence. You do not argue with a zealot. To engage in their debate is to legitimize their court. You can't win a game where your opponent is the prosecutor, judge, and jury. As Machiavelli might advise, you give them nothing. Don't confess. Don't apologize for things you don't believe are wrong. Don't explain yourself. You meet their furious crusade with a calm, impenetrable silence. Their power is fueled by engagement. Your silence starves them of it. Finally, be willing to be feared or even hated by this group. Machiavelli famously said it's safer to be feared than loved. In this context, the fear you inspire is the fear of irrelevance. By refusing to engage, by continuing to succeed on your own terms, and by building alliances with other free thinkers, you demonstrate that their court has no real power over you. You render their judgment meaningless. Your freedom is the punishment. In the end, you have to recognize these zealots are often hiding their own lust for power behind a mask of righteousness. By standing apart from them, grounded in your own reality, you're not just saving your true self, you're holding the line for sanity and freedom in a world that often seems determined to destroy both. So, there they are, the 7 prisons without bars that Machiavelli's wisdom helps us see in our modern world.